It's just a constant like do uncomfortable things, Nick. Do uncomfortable things until they're comfortable, and then also make decisions when they're low risk, so that you start to practice and learn how to make decisions. I mean, a huge concept in my book is decision making, how to make good decisions. It's a muscle. You have to practice it. There's no amount of books you can read that are going to teach you how to make great decisions. So what my dad did when I was a kid and what I do to my kids is, you know, I let them practice making decisions instead of just putting them in a bubble where, oh, I'm going to make sure my kid has, no fear, no pain, no uncomfort, no struggle. Hey, look, like let's make decisions when they're low risk so that when I'm behind the wheel of a vehicle at 18 years old and I've had 3 beers, I know that, hey, that's a decision I need to make a really good decision or very bad things can happen. So I watched kids at Cornell, show up and they were in a bubble, meaning their parents made every decision for them, wrote their essays, got them to Cornell. And when they got to Cornell, they did not know how to live a functional life and make their own decisions. And it was a big
Mm.
problem.
You mentioned Cornell, where you went to school. You also were an All-American athlete in track and field. Um, I also share that kinship with you from an athletics background. Mine happened to be football in college and a little bit after. And I've taken so much from coaches and teammates and being a part of a team and showing up early as you did today, like I was trained to do as a quarterback. What what have you drawn from your experience as an All-American athlete to now post athletic life? You're still in good shape. You're still working out. I know you write
Yeah.
about that too. But what have you taken from that has helped you as an operator, as a leader?
I did the decathlon. So it's 10 events. And the brutally hard thing about the decathlon is that you're never going to have 10 good events. First is the 100-meter dash. You might miss your PR. Second is long jump. You can really mess up long jump. You can lose, 50 to 150 points in that event if you do poorly. And then you just go on through the day and you're doing things like pole vault, javelin, and high jump. And there's no way that they're all going to go well. So you really learn how to have just that mental toughness to take an L. I
Mm-hmm.
can take L's. I can take L's with grace, man. I can struggle with grace because that sport, any sport, will humble you. You know it as a quarterback. You make one bad play, are you going to get rattled? And is it going to ruin your whole game? Because a lot of people, they don't have the strong enough head to overcome a poor play. And that makes it so you cannot play quarterback at a high level. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
Same with decathlon. So what I love about sports is that it just trains resilience because you fail over and over and over again.
How is it with an event like doing 10 different things? So you have to be kind of a generalist, but also a specialist in a way, which I feel like
Just like
there's,
business.
yeah, I mean, there's not
There's
many, there's not many things that can prepare you for that. Cause like my thing was like, get really good at reading a defense and owning a huddle and get definitely responding from messing up and throwing a pick six. Like you're immediately right back on the field and you got to have
yeah.
shoulders up, ready to go. You know how it goes. A decathlon though is like, oh my God, I've watched on the Olympics and I think it's insane to see that these people do everything. And yeah, certainly you mess up and have to bounce back. I can't even imagine like what your mindset is going in to those events to say, how do I get ready for each one individually and then bounce back if it doesn't go well, which it inevitably will at times.
Yeah, there's the mental toughness of actually being able to execute the decathlon well. I never had a no height or a no distance in any event, which I'm proud of. Meaning
Wow.
I always cleared my opening height in pole vault. I always got a mark in long jump. I always got a throw out there in discus, even though, you can very easily get out of your rhythm and, the mechanics of throwing discus. If your rhythm is off, it's very, very, very hard to do it well. But I did the decathlon because I wasn't a master at anything. And I think that's a lesson in business because you can try to be Elon Musk, you can try to be Mark Zuckerberg, or you can say, hey, look, I'm not spectacular. I'm just an average Joe. How can I go out here and win against people who are better athletes than me? I can become a good learner. I can be adaptable. I can have a strong head. And, I could just learn. I could learn faster than a lot of the other guys, frankly. So I became competent. I did the 80-20 in each event so that I could go out there and do well.
Also, you weren't just like sitting around training for sports. You're thinking about businesses and you're opening and starting businesses. What was your mindset towards being an entrepreneur? I know you were even before college, but while you were a college athlete.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked out this way, but I was very serious about balance. Like I didn't want to have a one-dimensional college experience. I wanted to find a wife when I was in college. That was important to me. I wanted to explore the academics that Cornell had to offer while I was there. I wanted to socialize and learn how to be around my friends and go to the bars. And then I also want to start a company. So yeah, fast forward to, I've always been a guy who gets in a little over his head with things he takes on, but fast forward to senior, finals week, my senior year, I am the weekend before, I'm in the blocks at the Ivy League championship, trying to win the hurdles and taking customer service calls for my storage business after, right before and right after the event, and texting the woman who I was trying to get to fall in love with me. And I was, when I got home, I went out to the bars that night because we won.